so much. I love you so much. I love you so much. I love you so much.
Hello, all you positive heads out there. Thanks for tuning your beautiful brainwaves into another episode of the Positive Head Podcast, where we are firmly convinced that creating success and happiness is rooted in understanding the ultimate nature of reality and the fact that as human beings, we are all immensely powerful fractals of the one and only source consciousness which creates and animates all things. After years of exploring this awe-inspiring truth on this podcast, I'm super excited to announce that we are now going even deeper down the rabbit hole on the new late-night style consciousness-elevating talk show called Optimistic, which features none other than you, the listeners. Optimistic is taped out of the epic spaceship-esque 8-bedroom property we call the Mystic Manor that myself and the rest of the Optimistic crew now navigate reality from in Venice Beach, California. And you are invited to come experience a Mystic Manor immersion week with us. During your week-long stay, you'll enjoy unique workshops, chef-prepared meals, one-on-one time coaching and consulting with me, and even co-creating magic with me as a guest on both Optimistic and an episode of the Positive Head podcast. When I started this, my aim with these immersive retreats was to facilitate the ultimate spiritual upgrade and tune-up, so to speak, for our guests while providing them with one of the most memorable experiences of their lives. And I'm happy to say that as of this recording, every guest at the end of their trip so far has told me that they have had a profound and transformational experience at the Mystic Manor and that they definitely want to come back. All that being said, we only have a limited number of spots available between now and next July. And as of this recording, about half of those spots are already filled. So if there's any part of you that is screaming, yes, I want to come, I feel like I need to be there, go now and book a slot with me to discuss how we can put our heads together and make it happen at calendly.com/talkwithbrandon. I know for some people, there is also that little voice in their head saying, why not? I can't get off work. I can't afford it, and on and on and on. But, really Henry Ford, I think, said it best. Whether you think you can or think you can't, you're right. And I'm confident that where there's a will, there's a way. And I'm personally committed to doing everything in my power, including discounts and payment plans, to get you here if it is something that truly feels like a huge yes for you energetically and like you're meant to be here. Once again, the link to book time to discuss with me is calendly.com/talkwithbrandon. That's spelled calendly.com/talkwithbrandon. All one word, of course. And book in some time and look forward to seeing you soon here at the Mystic Manor.
Hello, all you positive heads out there. This is Samantha Lotus, and I am having so much fun being the co-host of this incredible show. And so I just wanted to thank you again so much for being a part of this show, for being a part of this community, for being a part of this conversation, and for allowing me to come out and hang with you. Today, I want to answer one of the questions that was posted in the Positive Heads Facebook group by Devin. It was, does anyone have any advice for finding your center again after dealing with some particularly difficult mental health struggles? My doctor just randomly decided today to cut me off from my anxiety meds right in time for the holidays. I have to visit some toxic family members and I'm super anxious about it. How do I stay sane? This is such a great place for us to discuss today, because I'm sure that many of us have experienced feeling mentally out of balance or going through challenging times, and being around family can be the most triggering thing ever. Is it triggering for you? Maybe it's amazing for you. That's awesome. And maybe it's triggering for you. So I know that for me, visiting family was always the most triggering thing imaginable. Had a very challenging relationship with my mom. My dad's side of the family drove me nuts. My brother and I would trigger each other like crazy forever. And so I definitely understand what it's like. So the first part that I'm going to answer from this question is advice on finding your center again after dealing with particularly difficult mental health struggles. Specifically, if you've been on anti-anxiety or antidepressant medication, what I'm going to explain is very important for you to understand. When you're taking medications for your neurochemicals, for your brain, what it does is it actually makes your brain sluggish. It makes it so that your brain is not producing and absorbing your own chemicals and working in its natural rhythm. So, when you completely cut cold turkey from your meds, it is going to be challenging because your brain is used to having something not natural be coursing through it to do the job, and now it has to do the job on its own, and it's became a little bit lazy, essentially. Now, it's not a bad thing. It just means that you need to be aware of this so that you can do what you need to do to help promote and strengthen and rewire parts of the brain that have been depressed or depleted or have become lazy and sluggish. So what we want to do is we want to flood your brain with dopamine, with the good feeling hormones. And the best ways to flood your body with dopamine are to do things that feel good, to do things that you like. Or to do things that you don't necessarily like, but that flood your brain with dopamine. So first, sunlight, going outside, getting fresh air, sunlight, being in nature, floods your body with dopamine. Exercise, moving your body, dancing, exercising, high intensity exercising really floods the body and the brain with dopamine. Eating healthy foods. I talked about this last week. I talked about it for a reason. To be a positive head, you must put positive foods in your body, which nourish your brain. So I do believe in eating animal proteins. That's personal for my belief system. And what I've seen working with over 1,000 clients is that using animal proteins, specifically essential oils or fish oils, not essential oils that are protein based, but using fish oils and eating good quality organic meats can really improve brain function because it does have the amino acids and the nourishment, vitamins and minerals, the vitamin B and the energetic that does really help to stimulate and nourish the brain. Now, if you don't want to eat animal protein, that's totally fine. What you want to do is get lots and lots of fresh colored veggies and fruits, a lot of deep greens, mushrooms, nuts and seeds, avocados, lots of good fats, because those help to promote a healthy brain. You can also use omega oils that are plant-based from algae and hemp, borage oil, evening primrose, eating your flaxseed and your chia. Those are also going to be really great for the brain. Then human connection. So important for anxiety and depression. And it can also be animal connection, having a pet, or having a friend, or calling someone that's close with you, or just cuddling and hugging. Human connection is absolutely crucial and so nourishing for mental health and anxiety. Then as well, personal practices like journaling. Journaling your thoughts and your feelings can really help to release some of the stored tension and anxiety that's accumulated for you. So journaling your feelings and putting a name to how you're feeling, that can be really helpful. Now, I believe, and it's shown in metaphysics and in some of the Eastern philosophies, that emotions are energy in motion, and they're meant to be felt and expressed and then to flow out of your body. Now, most of us, we like to take emotions and stuff them inside of our bodies. So things like stress, anxiety, depression, anger, all of the lower density vibration emotions, we just like to stuff them inside and not feel them. Anxiety is an energy. You can feel it palpably in your body. And so moving your body, screaming, crying, shaking, tapping, stomping your feet, doing like convulsion type of shaking can actually release the energy that's stored in your body, especially if you feel it. Normally anxiety is held within the head, the throat, and the chest or the stomach. So feeling into those feelings, those places, and allowing your body to move and make sounds and sighs and to shake and to release, just like an animal. An animal releases by shaking. Well, it's really important that you also shake out that energy. And then if you can see your anxiety or see your depression or see the emotion that you have as a teacher for you, you can ask yourself, what is this showing me? What is this here to teach me? What are the lessons here that I get to see and learn from this? For me, I used to get anxiety every time I would talk to my mom. So I asked myself, okay, well, what's underneath this? Where am I not honoring my boundaries? Where am I judging my mom? Where are we not healed? How can I shift? How can I honor myself and honor my needs? And how can I trust that everything is working out? So really aligning my thoughts and my behaviors and my patterns and my actions around ease and harmony and peace has been super helpful for me in anxiety. So then it brings us to having to visit toxic family members. Well, even the way that that's written, I have to visit some toxic family members. You've already identified them as toxic, and already you've created a story on how it's going to be. So you've created this story in your mind about how it's going to be. And what that's going to do is it's going to be what you think it's going to be. So we can see that when we judge and when we perceive and when we imagine that something's going to be a certain way, it often becomes that way. Or we show up in a way which we trigger that in the other person because we're constantly creating our realities. So what would it be like for you if you were to decide that your family members were fine just as they are? To accept them fully as they are, to meet them with love and compassion and kindness, and to decide that you want to heal this relationship by sharing how it feels for you to be around them. And then setting really strong boundaries with yourself. Like maybe they are people that are what you would consider toxic and they're just not going to change. Well, then you get to ask yourself, how can you show up in a way that is protecting your energy, protecting your boundaries, washing off the things that they say, not letting it get to you, being strong within yourself and your center, standing in your truth, but again, just like letting it wash over you. Or if it's really toxic, ask yourself, do you really need to go there? Forget about the guilt and the shame and the blame and the whatever that people might try to put on you. If it's truly a toxic situation for you, don't go. And if you want to go because you want to see other people and not specific people, go and really protect yourself by putting an energetic bubble around yourself and just making a decision to let whatever they say or do just wash off you. Laugh it off. Kill it with kindness. You've heard that before. Kill them with kindness. Just do not let other people affect your energy field. So there's that. And then, maybe even asking questions like to the people in your family, like, well, why is it that you speak this way? I just want to let you know, like, I love you and I want to have a relationship with you. And the way that you speak to me doesn't feel good. That's how I healed a massive amount of my relationship with my mom. We're great now. Was I went through all of the phases of anger and disappointment and resentment, and I really journaled it. I allowed myself to feel the way I feel. I allowed myself to cry. I really allowed myself to go there and to honor how I was feeling. And then I also got to see the hurt little girl that my mom was, that she grew up insecure, that she grew up with a lot of challenges, a lot of pain, a lot of issues, and that she was always just doing what she knew how to do. She was always doing her best. She wasn't taught or trained how to be anything different than what she was. And I know that her intention wasn't to harm me or to hurt me. It's just that she was doing the best with where her consciousness was. And so when I could see that innocent little girl that was just hurt and acting from where she was, I got to have compassion and I got to forgive my mom. And by me forgiving my mom, it freed me from the prison that I was in and that I had kept my mom in. And as I did the inner work to forgive my mom and to reclaim myself and my boundaries and my energy and my truth and my self-esteem and not needing to try to change my mom or have her be in some different way and just accepting her as she is, I was able to have a conversation with her, share with her that I love her and I want to have a good relationship with her. And I got to share some of the ways that I want to be treated, the ways that I would like our relationship to be. And what was so amazing was that she was really understanding. She owned where she failed me. She owned her shit. And she really blossomed into a different human being. And our interactions and our relationship just continuously have gotten better and better and better. And that's the practice. It's you get to do the work first. I know. We want them to do the work first. They're the parent. They're the this. They're the that. No, that's not how this game works. You get to do the work first for yourself, inside of yourself, and then you meet the other from that new place of being, from a new energy, a new vibration, and you will see the shift. They will be different. And maybe they won't. And if they won't, that's where you get to really strongly assert your boundaries. But if this is someone that you care about or someone that you love and you want to have a good relationship with them, this is a practice that you can really work with. And a book that I love that helped me massively was You Can Heal Your Life by Louise Hay. Highly recommend this book. It is just such a game changer. All of Louise Hay's work is wonderful, like the mirror work as well. But You Can Heal Your Life is something that is very helpful for healing family dynamics as well as anxiety and stress and depression as well. So definitely check that out. And, again, with that inner work, like really getting to know yourself, getting to know your triggers. What triggers your anxiety? What triggers your depression? Why are you feeling this way? Right? Like, is it from ancestral pain? Is it from how your family treated you? Is it from something that happened in third grade? And asking yourself, do you want to stay this way? Do you want to continue this way? And if not, then you get to do the deep inner work of forgiveness and having compassion and creating a vision for yourself. Like creating a very strong vision for how you want to feel, what you want your life to be like, how you want to experience yourself, who you want to connect with. And in order for that to happen, there's a part of you that's going to die. It's the old identity that's associated to the victim, to the pain, to the depression, to the not enough chemistry in the brain. I need drugs, all of the different things. Like there's a part of you that has that identity and it served you. It got you here, which is perfect. You're always exactly where you need to be. And you get to ask yourself, is this how I want to continue being? Does this feel good for me? Does this serve me? Is this enriching my life? And if not, might be a harsh truth, but I love you, and this is why I'll say it. No pill is going to fix your problems. It won't. It might numb them. It might help with your neurochemistry. It might help with navigating life, and so there's nothing wrong with taking medications. And your anxiety and your pain and your depression are teachers for you. They're here to teach you something. They're here to show you something. They are a guide for you and an opportunity for you to reclaim yourself, to reclaim your power, and to choose intentionally how you would like to move forward. There is always a solution. There is always a way. And I'm not being insensitive. I went through the depths of depression. I went through the depths of being bipolar, having borderline personality disorder, and literally wanting to jump off of my building. Like I've been there for many years, in and out of dark depressions. And I'm speaking from experience that the single most profound decision I ever made was to choose myself and to heal myself fully. That led me into the organic, healthy foods, the exercise, the essential oils, the community, being here, with Brandon and the Mystic Manor and the Optimistic and the Positive Head podcast. It's all about nourishing myself and aligning my life with who I want to become, with what feels good and effective and enriching and enhancing for my higher self. And it was not easy. Nobody paid for me. Nobody saved me. Nobody healed me. I got to heal myself. And so all of the information is out there. It's all out there. So really intentionally choosing, how do you want to live? How do you want to feel? Who can support in that? What information is out there? What programs? What books? Become obsessed with being the person you want to be. Become obsessed with being the person you are meant to be. And what's fun with that is that you get to choose who you're meant to be, not your family, not your church, not your culture, no one but you. No one but you. And what's great is that no one can love you better than you can love yourself. That might feel sad for some people because we're taught to be codependent. Other people can love you, absolutely. And no one can love you and take care of you better than you can yourself. So set that standard for yourself. Really reclaim yourself. Own your boundaries. Own your feelings. Own your lifestyle. And for anyone who's young out there and maybe being supported by their families and they don't really have that power yet, just trust that it gets better. Trust that it gets better. And when you are able to get out there and to live your own life, it gets so much better. It gets so much easier. Let me just tell you that. For anyone listening that's struggling, this too shall pass. I promise you. You just need to know that and trust that. Also, in the new year, Brandon and I are launching a program together, the Positive Head program called Rewrite Your Reality. And it goes deep in how to rewrite these old programs, how to heal from shame and despair and anger and guilt and blame and depression. And it's all of the tools and the resources and the teachings that you need or you could benefit from to really go through and heal. So make sure you stay tuned for that. That's really exciting that we're about to launch that together. And until then, breathe, use your affirmations, reconnect to your center, anchor in gratitude, and trust. Trust that everything's working out. And make a decision today to do what is nourishing for yourself, to really honor yourself and what you need, and to give that to yourself. If you want to connect, if you want to send me any private messages, the best place to do that is probably Instagram. You can connect with me on Instagram at Samantha_Lotus. You can also connect to my business page, facebook.com/Samantha Lotus page. Connect with me online at my website, www.samanthalotus.com. I would love to hear what's going on. I would love to hear how you're doing. If you need support, whatever it is, if you just want to send a motivational quote or something that inspired you, I love receiving that. This is something that I do for you, for the community, because I care so much. And so I will continue to answer questions that are posted in the Positive Heads Facebook group. And I'd love to just continue to have this conversation. So thank you so much again for being here. Sending you so much love.
And if you're feeling the call to come for a week retreat style Mystic Manor immersion, remember to go now and book your time to speak with me directly about stepping into the optimistic vortex at calendly.com/talk with Brandon while there are still spots left. Otherwise, I look forward to co-creating magic with you at the Mystic Manor.